Hey guys, what's up? It's Josh. Welcome back to another video. This video is not going to be long. I just wanted to make it because I've never driven an Acura before, and this is the first time. And today I have the 2020 Acura RDX Platinum Elite. So I just wanted to say before I start today's video, thank you to Acura of Langley for giving me this car for the day so that I could make this video and tell you guys about it. It's a super nice car, and if you guys are ever interested in looking at Acuras, you can go to the Acura in Langley and they have a bunch of new and used inventory there. So yeah, thank you to them for giving me this car for the day, but there are some cool features in it that I just thought I wanted to show you guys. So this is gonna be a very honest review. I'm not gonna go over every single feature that's in the car, but to start it off, the engine in this car is a 2-liter 4-cylinder, which produces 272 horsepower, so it's a little bit more than the BMW X3. Now, when you're looking at the outside, I think that Acura, like the way that this model looks, the RDX, it looks really nice. I love the front grille and how they made the logo of Acura super big. I feel like this just looks very modern and very stylish. Now on the side, it gives it more of that sporty look with these like really cool side air vents, and air actually goes right through there. And then the lights are really cool because these are the jewel eye lights. So when you look at them, you guys can see that it's just like a bunch of like jewels in there. That's what it's kind of looking like. And then this is the running light right here, which looks super cool. Now to go over the rims just really quick, these are 19-inch alloy rims. You can get 20-inch if you want them, but this is just what the 19-inch looks like. I think that the silver looks really cool. You can also get black. They have like another style, which I think if you pay like 1,700 bucks, you can get the different rims on it, and it might make it a little bit more stylish. But this gives it a really comfy ride. The tires are still a little bit thicker, so it's gonna be smoother. And then when you're looking at the outside here, you can also see that under here they have a little camera. This car is equipped with a lot of different safety features. So it has like adaptive cruise control. It has like the forward collision avoidance. It also has radar so that when you're backing up, it like senses if there's cars coming so that you're not gonna hit anything. So in terms of safety, this car has a lot of stuff built into it, which I think is pretty, like, it's expected for a 2020 car. When you're looking at the front here, right on this massive grille, you can see that there's another camera under there. And then when we're looking at the back of the car, this is probably my favorite angle. I really like how these dual tip exhausts look. And then also these are LED tail lights. So at night, and just like turn signals and everything looks super nice when you turn them on. There's another camera right here, your backup camera, and it actually has one of the little like washer fluid things so that when you turn your windshield washers on, it'll actually wash your camera as well. And in addition to all of this, the back trunk is also a power tailgate, so the whole thing comes up automatically. You don't have to touch it, which is super nice. And there is a lot of room back here, which I will get into a little bit more of a little bit later. So yeah, there's an overall look of the exterior of the 2020 Acura RDX. This is also all-wheel drive, so if you're going in the snow or the dirt or the mud or whatever, this car is gonna be able to make it through pretty good. So yeah, that's the overall look of the outside of it. So another thing I should say about the engine is that when you're buying a crossover, if you're in the market for an SUV, I think sometimes the gas mileage can be pretty bad on some models. The RDX actually has a very good gas mileage. It does 9.9 liters per 100 kilometers. So you're not really gonna be going to the gas station as much. So yeah, that's a little bit more about the engine, but super nice on the outside. I really like the front of it. All right, so if we go into the back of the RDX, I'll show you guys what the rear seats look like. This has a very light interior on this specific model. This is the parchment leather piping, they call it. But you can see that there's a lot of room. If I get in here, it's really nice too because the sunroof, or the moonroof that they call it, goes all the way to the back. So when you're sitting back here, makes you feel like you just have like more area to see out of. So I'm sitting back here, I got lots of room. I really like how when you're sitting back here, you can kind of see like through all the windows. It doesn't feel like you're kind of crammed into the back of a car. Now another thing, if I show you guys the door, they have these big nice speakers on the side right here, which in this specific model, these are the ELS Studio 3D speakers. So this like stereo system is super good. And then there's just the thing to roll down your window, and then you have some storage just in front of you like you would in any other car. And then you also have 2 USB ports, which is super nice. And also right beside that, you have your heated seats. So that's a really nice option. That's part of the Platinum Elite package, which is in this car. You can get the RDX without that if you wanted it, but it's just like kind of an added feature. So yeah, sitting back here feels really nice. This color actually is not something that I would pick, but I think that it just looks really good. Like if you're going for more of a lighter interior, this is definitely the one to get. Now this middle piece also comes down and you get 2 cup holders right there. I really like it back here. Definitely don't feel squished in here. I have a lot of leg room and that seat is almost all the way back. So in terms of the rear seats, the Acura did a really good job. All right, so moving on to the back of the car. This is kind of one of my favorite features of it because it has so much room, which if you're looking for an SUV, you probably want a lot of room. So when you open up the trunk, this is what the back looks like. I have just some of my stuff in here right now, but right off the bat, you can see there's a huge pocket right there that you can put stuff in. And then when you look down here, you just push this thing and it comes up. You have all of this room that you can put stuff down here. And it even goes further where if you put this part down, you can now lift this part up and you have all this extra room that's in here. So underneath all of this is like where your jack is to like lift your car up. And then under this one right here is where the spare tire is. So that's like the room that you have kind of under the mat that's right here. But another really nice thing is that they have these handles, which are located right here, that when you pull them, it actually unlocks this seat, and then if you push it, it'll go down. So do this one, that one goes down, and then if you close this, you now have all of this room back here that you could like legit put a mattress in here if you wanted. You could put so much stuff in here. So that's the room that you get in the back of the car. If you're wanting an SUV, definitely something you're gonna be looking at, especially if you have kids or stuff and you want to go camping, or you just need to put a lot of stuff in it. And then if you want to close it, you just push this button and the trunk goes down. All right, so now for the inside or the interior in the front, I'm gonna sit on the passenger side so that I can show you guys what the driver's side looks like, because I think that it looks super nice. And I really like how the gauge cluster looks. So when you're looking at it from this angle, first thing that I notice is the steering wheel has a lot of buttons on it. There's a lot of buttons kind of all over this car. Even like the dashboard, you guys can see like there's just so much stuff going on. It almost looks like like you're sitting in an airplane or something. But yeah, so the steering wheel has a bunch of different things on it. On the left side, it's a lot of like your heated steering wheel, which is right here. You have your volume, you have like your speaker if you want to talk to your car. And then this is just like to switch between tracks if you want. Then when you go to the other side, this is more of like your driving controls. So your cruise control, you have your lane keep assist, you have your adaptive cruise control where you can kind of change how many car distances you are from the car that's in front of you. And then also behind you have paddle shifters. So if you want to change the gears, this is a 10-speed automatic. So a lot of gears, but over here you can also see that there's a power button. So if you want to turn the stereo on and off, you can. So that's the steering wheel. It's a nice, it's like thick, so it feels kind of like the BMW steering wheels. So because this is my first time actually driving an Acura, and I think this might even be the first Acura that I've actually sat in, I'm like pretty impressed with how the quality feels in terms of the seats and the leather and just the stitching and everything that is kind of going on in the front of this car. Now this like dashboard, it's not plastic, so it has like a nice feel to it, because I feel like when you feel plastic dashboards, you can kind of tell that it's cheap, whereas this has a really nice like texture to it. It's like kind of spongy almost. And even like the wood that you guys can see going along the outside, and then on this part right here, just gives it a little bit more of a stylish look. And I gotta say that Acura, it has a really good quality interior. Let's start looking at some of the drive modes that this car has. I really like how on the dashboard here, they kind of put the drive modes right in the middle. This makes it really easy to kind of control what drive mode you want to be in. Now, the actual gear shifting happens right here. You guys can see this is where you push for drive. your neutral, you pull this down for reverse, and then you just have your parking button. But in terms of the dynamic modes that it has, so you can see here there's comfort, there's sport, there's sport plus, and then there's also one at the top called snow. So a bunch of different modes, which makes it nice because I feel like if you're driving in the snow and you just need to put it in something that maybe is able to grip the road better, you have that option. Now also on the dashboard, they have all of your climate control options right here. So this is really straightforward, laid out really nicely, which is something that I like. I don't like when it's on the screen and it takes like forever to just turn your heated seat on or your steering wheel. Everything is laid out here. This car actually has heated and cooled seats, which is a bonus because when it's hot outside today, like it's 30 degrees I think today, and it's like super warm, so I have the seat on cooling. But up here you have all of like your fan modes, you have your air recycling, you have everything that you'd need right there for your climate control. And then there's only two little buttons up here for your tracks, so if you want to change like the music, and then this is your volume button for your radio. So pretty straightforward. You also have a trackpad down here which controls the screen up there, so when I move my finger around on here, you can see that it just moves things around on here. I don't really know how I feel about trackpads in cars because I feel like when I'm driving and I like hit a bump, if I'm trying to change something on my screen, I did it the other day, I went over train tracks and I pushed the wrong button and I was kind of like annoyed at it because then I had to figure out how to go back and then how to go to the right screen. So in terms of trackpad, this car has it. I don't know how I feel about it, but it is kind of a cool, more modern, futuristic thing that they got going on. So yeah, that's the like whole console right here. And then there's also the automatic engine stop and start. Then when you go down a little bit, you got your storage. Inside here is a USB little area. And then you also have two cup holders. And then if you open this part, this is more storage, so you just have a big pocket right there that you can put stuff in. And then if you need to put your phone somewhere, they have a spot for that, which is just down here. This is like right under where the console is. You have a USB port right here, and then you also have like a lighter outlet, and then you also have an aux outlet. So you can like put stuff down here if you wanted. And again, like I said, the interior of this car has the ELS Studio 3D speakers in it, so you can see right here on the door it actually says it. They sound really good. I've had the music going in here, and I would say that it's pretty comparable to like the very luxurious brands like the Q8 that we drove, and also the BMW. They have the Harman Kardon. This is pretty similar. I feel like this actually sounds pretty good. So that's kind of a look at the driver's side from the passenger seat. Now we're gonna go in the driver's seat and I'll show you guys like where all the lights are. This also has heads-up display, so I'll kind of show you what that angle looks like. All right, so one thing that is nice about the inside of this car too is with the Platinum Elite you get a 16-way adjustable seat. So down here, these are a bunch of buttons that you can kind of move around to adjust your seat however you want it. So that's always a plus when you can kind of adjust your seat, just makes the inside more comfortable. Now, if I show you guys down by my left knee, it's pretty cool, all of the like different buttons and everything that they give you down here, because in a lot of other cars, in order to do like the heads-up display tilt and everything, you actually have to go into the screen in order to do that. So it's nice that they put it right here, because if I push the up button, and then you see the 0 on the screen right there, you can see that it's going up and down. So it makes it really easy to adjust your heads-up display. On here as well, you have your lane keep assist. You also have your parking. You have your brake hold, which is basically like when you get to a stoplight, if you don't want to keep your foot on the brake, you can push that and it'll keep your car, it'll hold your brake on. This is also where your parking brake is right here. And then on the door, you can see you just have all of your regular kind of stuff that you'd want. You got your windows, you got your locks, you got your mirrors. And then up here, you can set your seat. So if you have two people driving, you can kind of set your seat so that it like remembers where your seat was when you got out. And then when we're looking at the gauge cluster right here, I really like how this gauge cluster looks. It's very clean looking. I'll start the car so that you guys can actually see a full view of what it looks like. You use the buttons that are on this side over here in order to control it. So if I go over, there's the trip computer. You got your speed, you got a sports gauge, you can do minimal so that there's nothing there. You can do your all-wheel drive, and then you got your tire pressure, maintenance, navigation. So yeah, all of the like stuff that you'd kind of want. Also, if you push another button, you can see at the top that the lanes show up. And that's just your lane keep assist, so it'll show you if you're going over the lanes at all when you're driving, and it'll actually help you and bring you back into your lane. Just like a lot of other cars also, this car has Apple CarPlay. It also has Android Auto, so depending on what phone you have, you can just hook it up and everything will show up on your screen. Also, this is Wi-Fi capable as well if you have that. And then the navigation and everything in this car is really good too. So if you're needing to put directions in, this is what the maps look like. I'll show you what it looks like right here. These are the maps. Now, one thing that I would say is a downside to this car, like maybe just one of the only downsides that I see, is that the screen that's in the front is not a touch screen. So in order to kind of like, you know, when you're sitting in a car and you can use your finger and it's very like the response is really nice and you can do like your maps really easily, you don't really have the option on this car. So when you're looking at it, if I'm trying to like move around on these maps right here, I have to use the trackpad, but like when you're using the trackpad, it is kind of difficult. Like you can like go up and down, I guess, but I don't really know how you'd like zoom out unless you went over here and zoomed out or like was zooming in. It just like is a little bit difficult with the trackpad. So I would say that's the only downside to kind of the infotainment system that I see. But overall, other than that, everything is totally fine and laid out really nicely. So overall, that's the interior of the Acura RDX Platinum Elite. I went over basically everything except for maybe some of the things in the infotainment system, but they're very standard that you'd find on every other car. You got your Apple CarPlay, you got your Android Auto, you got your maps. That's all you really need. Unless you're in a BMW and it's like, you got all that other crazy extra stuff. But so although the interior and the exterior are nice, I think one of the main things that comes along with buying a car is how it feels to actually drive it. So now we're gonna go out, take it for a drive. I'm gonna let you guys hear how it sounds to be on the inside, let you guys know if it's quiet or if it's loud, and then we'll try out some of the different dynamic modes and we'll see how it is. But yeah, let's take it for a drive and see how it goes. And I gotta say, first thing, the car is very comfortable to sit in. The seats feel amazing. I have the cooling seat on right now and I can feel it right away. It feels great. If I put it in sport mode, it's in sport mode now. I could feel as soon as I did that, it dropped down a gear, and the steering becomes a little bit tighter, I think, and a little bit more like responsive. Now, if I put it in Sport Plus, I feel like it just dropped down another gear. Oh yeah, and as soon as I touch the gas, it like wants to pull away. So I'm gonna floor it right here and we'll see what it sounds like. Oh yeah, that sounds good. When you put it in sport mode as well, there's two little things that pop up on your dashboard that show you your turbo and also your acceleration, so like your G-force. This car, with everything that you guys have seen in today's video, is listed at $57,000 Canadian. So if you're living in the States, that's gonna be a lot cheaper. But yeah, there's like everything that you need. You got a big, nice car, you got lots of storage, you got a good surround stereo system in it, you got all your safety features, all of your cameras that you need on it. Overall, it's just a really nice car. It's good gas mileage. So yeah, that is the driving experience in the Acura RDX. All right guys, so that is my full review of the Acura RDX Platinum Elite. This is the 2020 version. I hope that if you guys are in the market for an SUV, that this video kind of helped you out. If it did, let me know in the comments and hit the subscribe button if you're new to my channel. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. That was more of like a shorter review, but if you guys enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up and I'll see you guys in the next